Listen to me. Your mouth is writing your future. Every single day, with every single word that comes out of your mouth, you are either building yourself up or you are tearing yourself down. Don't get it twisted. What you say to yourself when nobody else is around is shaping what you believe, how you move, and where you end up. You think it's just words, but it's not. Words are seeds, and every seed you plant in your mind has no choice but to grow. Some of you are living in a field of weeds right now, not because you can't work hard, not because you're not talented, but because every day you keep planting negativity in your own soil. You keep telling yourself you're not enough, you're not ready, you're not smart enough, strong enough, gifted enough. And guess what? The soil doesn't care whether it's a weed or a rose. It just grows what you plant. That's why some people are stuck in cycles that look impossible to break. It's not because the opportunity wasn't there. It's not because the door never opened. It's because every time the door cracked open, they told themselves, I can't walk through it. And when you say that enough times, your body believes it. Your actions line up with your words. You shrink back, you procrastinate, you hesitate. You watch opportunities slip right by because your own self-talk made you too small to step into them. But on the flip side, if you start changing what you say, you change what you see. If you start saying, I can, I will, I must, then suddenly you stop looking at obstacles as stop signs and start seeing them as stepping stones. You start to realize that you were the one holding the pen the whole time, writing your own story. But the words you chose were limiting your destiny. The only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the script you've been repeating to yourself. Think about it. Champions, the ones who rise to the top, they don't walk around speaking defeat over themselves. They don't say, I can't handle this. They say, give me the ball. I got this. They don't wait for validation from the crowd. They validate themselves with their own voice before they ever touch the field. That's why you feel their energy before they even perform. Their words have already set the tone for their reality. And some of you wonder why your energy feels low, why your confidence is gone, why your grind feels empty. It's not your potential that's missing. It's your self-talk. You can't keep telling yourself, I'm tired, I can't do this, this is too much, and then expect to feel power, expect to feel strength, expect to feel hunger. Your body follows your mouth. You want a new level of energy, start speaking new words. You want a new level of discipline, start declaring that discipline belongs to you. Listen. I had to learn the hard way that what I say matters. I had to wake up one day and realize I was poisoning my own well, and nobody could fix it for me. Nobody could come in and change my self-talk. That's the one thing nobody can do for you. People can encourage you. People can push you. People can give you the blueprint, but only you can shift the way you talk to yourself. Only you can decide to stop speaking fear and start speaking faith. Only you can decide to stop speaking lack and start speaking abundance. I need you to hear this. Your words are not just filling empty space. They are building or breaking your future. Every time you open your mouth, you're either cashing a check you want to spend or writing debt you'll be forced to pay. So, if your words are that powerful, why waste another second speaking anything less greatness over yourself? Why keep saying you can't when the truth is you can? Why keep saying you're not enough when the truth is you've got everything you need inside of you to become more than enough? You've got to discipline your mouth the same way you discipline your grind. Stop letting old habits, old pain, old failures control what you say. Stop repeating the lies people told you when you were younger, the doubts that other people placed on you. That was their voice, not yours. That was their limitation, not yours. You don't owe anybody the right to speak failure over your life, and you definitely don't owe it to yourself to keep repeating it. So here's the challenge. Before you quit, before you complain, before you tell yourself you can't, stop and check your words. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say building me or breaking me? Is it setting me up for victory or locking me into defeat? Because once you realize your words are writing your future, you'll stop being reckless with your mouth. You'll start guarding it like it's the key to everything, because it is. Change what you say and you change what you see. Change your self-talk and you change your life. You can't outwork a negative mindset. I don't care how early you wake up, how many hours you grind, how much sweat you pour out. If your mind is poisoned, your effort will never be enough. Some of you keep thinking the solution is just to work harder, push longer, add more hours. But the truth is you're running with a flat tire. You're moving, but you're dragging. You're grinding, but you're stuck. And it's not because you don't have the skill. It's because your own self-talk keeps canceling out your work. See, discipline and effort matter, but what you say to yourself when you're putting in that work matters even more. You could be in the gym every day, but if you keep telling yourself you'll never get in shape, you're going to sabotage your progress. You could study all night, but if your self-talk is, I'm not smart enough, you'll walk into that exam already defeated. You could start a business, but if your inner voice says, I'll probably fail, you'll hesitate to make the bold moves that create success. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. No matter how much you pour, it keeps leaking out. That's what happens when you grind with a negative mindset. The mind is the engine, the grind is the gas. You can have a full tank, but if the engine is broken, the car's not going anywhere. And that's why some of you are so frustrated. You're tired not just because of the work, but because of the constant battle inside your head. You're working with your hands, but your mind is fighting against you. Every rep, every hour, every move, you've got an inner voice whispering that it's pointless. That's why the same grind that should empower you ends up exhausting you. And here's the truth. It's not enough to just put in the hours. You've got to put in the right words while you're working. The grind plus negative self-talk equals burnout. But the grind plus positive, powerful self-talk equals breakthrough. When your mouth and your work are in agreement, you become unstoppable. When your words line up with your actions, you become dangerous because now every ounce of energy is pushing you forward instead of pulling you back. Think about it. When you see champions, when you see people performing at the highest level, it's not just about their work ethic. Plenty of people work hard. It's about the mindset that powers the work ethic. They talk to themselves differently. They speak into existence the greatness they're chasing. While others are saying, this is too hard, they're saying, this is exactly what I was built for. While others are saying, I don't know if I can do this, they're saying, I can, I will, I must. And that difference in mindset is the gap between potential and performance. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes it's not even about talent, it's about belief. There are people out there with half your skill, but double your belief, and they're winning. Not because they're better, but because they refuse to let their self-talk sabotage them. They're not smarter than you. They're not more capable than you. They just made up their mind to stop speaking defeat while they grind. So the question is, what are you telling yourself while you're working? When it gets hard, what's the voice in your head saying? When you fail, what do you speak over yourself? When you feel tired, what words are fueling you? Because those words will decide whether the grind builds you or breaks you. And don't miss this. Changing yourself Talk doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means telling the truth about who you are becoming. You might not be there yet, but your words pull you forward. You say, I'm disciplined, even when you're still learning discipline, because your words shape your habits. You say, I'm focused, even when distractions are everywhere, because your words call you back into alignment. You say, I'm unstoppable, even when you stumble, because your words remind you that failure is not final. So stop grinding with a broken mindset. Stop thinking more hours will fix what your words are destroying. Fix the engine first. Start fueling yourself with the right talk while you put in the work. Start telling yourself that your grind has value, that your sacrifice matters, that your consistency will pay off. Because when you get your mind right, the work you've been doing will finally start producing the results you've been waiting for. You can't outwork a negative mindset, but when you change your self-talk, every ounce of your grind starts working for you instead of against you. Stop talking like the old version of you. That voice you keep using, those words you keep repeating, they belong to the person you're trying to leave behind, not the person you're trying to become. Some of you don't even realize that every time you open your mouth, you're giving life to an identity that no longer serves you. You're speaking like the version of you that stayed stuck, the version that kept doubting, the version that kept making excuses. And as long as your self-talk is stuck in the past, your future will always feel like it's on hold. You've got to understand this. Your words are a rehearsal for your reality. Every time you say, I can't, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, you're practicing being that same broken, insecure, uncommitted version of yourself. And the more you rehearse it, the more natural it becomes. Before long, it's not even a thought anymore. It's a habit. It's the default script you fall back on when life pushes you. And here's the truth. If you don't change the script, you'll keep repeating the same chapter. No matter how badly you want a new story, what I need you to do is start talking like the person you're becoming. Start rehearsing the words of the new you until they feel natural, until they roll off your tongue like second nature. If you want to be disciplined, then start saying, I am disciplined every single day, even when you don't feel like it. If you want to be confident, start declaring why I am confident, I am bold, I am capable, even when the nerves are eating at you. Because what you say to yourself has power, and when your mouth speaks it long enough, your actions catch up. Some of you are waiting to feel like a winner before you speak like a winner. You've got it backwards. Winners don't wait for proof to start speaking victory. They speak it until their actions prove it. They talk like champions before the trophy ever shows up. And that's the difference between people who break through and people who stay stuck. One group keeps repeating the old language of fear. The other group declares the new language of faith. Think about it. If you want to transform your body, you don't keep saying, I'm out of shape, I'm lazy, I'll never look like that. You start saying, I'm putting in the work, I'm building consistency, I'm transforming. If you want to grow your business, you don't say, I'm not cut out for this, nobody will buy from me, it's too hard. You start saying, I'm learning, I'm building, I'm growing, I'm unstoppable. Because your words pull your actions forward. They don't just describe where you are, they define where you're going. And I get it. Some of you feel like it's fake, like you're lying to yourself if you start saying things you don't fully see yet. But hear me. This isn't lying, this is leading. This is you speaking life into your future until it shows up in your present. You're not faking it, you're framing it. You're creating the frame your future will fit into. That's why the words you use have to change first. because your actions will always fill the frame your words create. But here's the danger. If you keep talking like the old you never dies. That old voice keeps pulling you back, keeps reminding you of who you were, keeps whispering doubts into every new season. And if you're not careful, you'll let that old language lock you into an old life. That's why you've got to be ruthless with your self-talk. Stop tolerating language that belongs to your past. Stop repeating the words that kept you broke, tired, weak, and insecure. The old you can't come on this journey, and neither can the old words. So from this moment forward, I want you to speak only what aligns with who you're becoming. Talk like the disciplined version of you. Talk like the focused version of you. Talk like the unstoppable version of you. Speak in the language of the future you are building, not the past you are escaping. Because when you start talking like the person you're becoming, you start walking like the person you're becoming. And when you start walking like it, you start living like it. Every word is a rehearsal for your future. So speak carefully, speak intentionally, and speak like the person you were created to be. Change your words, and you'll change your walk. Change your walk, and you'll change your world. You have to understand this, your words don't just describe your world. They shape your world. The way you talk about yourself, the way you talk about your situation, the way you talk about your future, it all builds the atmosphere you're living in. Some of you wake up every single day and you're already defeated before you even step out the door, not because of your circumstances, but because of the way you spoke over yourself that morning. You told yourself you were tired. You told yourself you couldn't handle what was coming. You told yourself you weren't ready. And those words set the tone for the whole day. You're walking into battles you already lost in your mind. And then you wonder why nothing seems to change. But the flip side is just as real. You can wake up and start speaking victory. Start declaring that today you're going to dominate. That today you're going to be focused. That today you're going to push through. And those words shift everything. You begin to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. You start carrying yourself differently. People can feel the energy on you before you even say another word because you've already created an atmosphere of strength around yourself. That's how powerful words are. They set the stage for how you show up. Think about this. When you walk into a room, people feel your presence before you even open your mouth. That presence is built by what you've been saying to yourself in private. If you've been beating yourself down all week, you carry that energy with you. You come in small, you come in insecure, you come in hesitant. But when you've been speaking life over yourself, speaking power, speaking confidence, you walk in with your head high, with authority, with focus. And suddenly people treat you differently because you've already treated yourself differently with your words. Some of you don't realize the cycles you're trapped in are being reinforced by your own language. You keep saying things like, this always happens to me. I never get a break. I'll never change. I'll always be stuck. And because you've declared it, your actions unconsciously line up with it. You don't take the risk because you've already told yourself it won't work. You don't show up with your best effort because you've already convinced yourself it won't matter. And little by little, your words become the walls around your life. But here's the good news. You can break those walls down the same way you built them word by word. When you start changing your language, you start changing your reality. When you start declaring that you are more than enough, that you're built for this, that you've got what it takes, you begin to see doors you didn't notice before. You begin to move differently, act differently, think differently. And the more you speak it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you live it. And the more you live it, the more it becomes undeniable truth. I need you to get this. The words you say in your lowest moments matter most. It's easy to speak victory when things are going well, but when everything is falling apart, when the pressure is on, that's when your words carry the greatest weight. If in that moment you say, I can't handle this, you give your power away. But if in that same moment you declare, I'm built for this, I'm not quitting, I'm going to push through, you light a fire inside of you that no storm can put out. And listen, I know it's not easy. I know life hits hard. I know sometimes you don't feel like speaking life because everything around you feels like death. But that's the point. Your words are supposed to be light in the dark. Your words are supposed to create hope when there's none. Your words are supposed to be the anchor when the storm tries to pull you under. You don't wait for things to change before you change your language. You change your language so that things can change. So stop being careless with your words. Stop throwing around negativity like it doesn't matter. Every complaint, every doubt, every excuse is adding bricks to the prison you're already trying to break out of. Instead, start being intentional. Every morning, plant seeds with your mouth that you want to see grow in your life. Every night, speak over yourself the future you want to step into. And when life tries to push you back, let your words push harder. Your words shape your world. So if you don't like the world you're living in, it's time to change the words you're speaking. Change your self-talk, and you will change everything.